Hi, ladybugs. Isn't this cute? Look. So today what I'm doing is going through all the stuff I've taken off hangers, because what I do for the videos is I take down the clothes that I want and then I use them, but I always have a little bit extra, and the ones I take off, I just kind of put them in a box until uh, I'm ready to put everything away, and that's what I'm doing today. About once a month, I sit down and put all the clothes away that I've taken out over the last month and get them all folded, get everything put on hangers, you know, that stuff. Getting rid of that one. I really need to go through stuff and find stuff I can get rid of, because I just have so much clothes. It's crazy how much I have. It's totally crazy. Look at this little Bambi outfit. Isn't this adorable? Look at that. So cute. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting down going through the clothes and getting stuff put away that's been out for a while. I use this box to put my stuff in until I get it all put away, and today is put away day. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting everything put away. It takes a while. I have to collect all the hangers and all the clothes and get everything on hangers. I got a whole pile of hangers here in front of me. So now I have to go through and get everything put away. This little Ralph Lauren dress is cute, isn't it? Very cute. I love Ralph Lauren. Do you guys like Ralph Lauren? I do. Still recovering from losing Winston. It's hard. I miss him a lot. I don't want to talk about that too much, though, because I'll start tearing up. I think I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm making a pile of stuff I'm getting rid of so I can try to, like, thin out some of my clothes. I just have so much clothes, and I don't really need as much as I have. I want to keep this one. This one is 12 months. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I have way more than I actually need. I think I have way more than anybody actually needs. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going through, and I'm going to go through everybody's clothes and find some stuff I can get rid of. Isn't this pretty? And hang everything up from the previous month. This goes upstairs for Chasey. Look at this. Isn't this cute? Adorable. What size is this one? Do you guys have to sit down every once in a while and go through your clothes and get rid of some and organize and put stuff away? I always do. Yeah, because I end up with stuff that I haven't put away in a while. I always take out more than I need, so I have a selection when I'm doing my videos, but then I end up with a whole bunch out that I need to put away. Look at this. Isn't this cute? I love the Disney stuff. Hi, Ev. What are you doing, huh? Let's see. What's this? Oh, look at this. Another Bambi. There's a little Thumper. Go on, Ev. Okay, I'm getting rid of that. Yeah, I have a channel on Facebook, a page on Facebook for selling clothes, and I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff up there today. You need to move. You're in the way. So I have a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to put up there in the next couple days, because I have a ton of stuff I'm getting rid of. Not a ton, but enough. I got to find the top for this one. So what's everybody doing today? Is it a nice Saturday where you are? Look at that. Isn't that cute? Very, very cute. There's a hanger for this. Evie's just wandering around. When I'm not playing with the babies, she's kind of in the way. This has a top to it I have to find. This one is so cute. Look at this little 80s outfit. Isn't that adorable? I also like looking at the clothes. I don't know. I just think they're so cute. So many of the clothes I have are adorable, and I love it. See, this is what this one looks like. It's so cute. And then I'll put all the stuff that I hang up in a pile. And then when I get done hanging everything on hangers, I'll go through the pile and separate them into sizes, because my closet is separated into sizes. And then I'll be able to get everything hung up. Look at this one. I don't know. Somebody told me this was a boy's outfit, but I don't know. I just see it as a girl's outfit. So that's how I use it. What's everybody else doing today? Are you guys cleaning? Are you going to the park? What are you doing? Today it's slightly sunny out, but it's not warm, not at all. So we won't be going to the park today here. It's just not warm enough. It was really like the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday, it was like 90, 98, and then Tuesday was like 92, and then Wednesday was like went down like 10 degrees. It was like 82. And then Thursday, we went down to 70, like 74. And then Friday, yesterday, it was down to like 58. It was really cold. This is cute. I have the same one in white too. And then today, it's not as cold as it was yesterday, but it's certainly not like nice out. You know, the sun's out a little bit, but it keeps going back in, and that's Oregon weather for you. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes and it'll change. So it's been kind of a wonky week. And that's hard because it gives me like cold symptoms, you know, when the weather goes up and down. Look at this. Isn't this cute? So cute. When the weather goes up and down and the temperature goes up and down, it's not good on the sinuses. Yeah, I got a whole pile of clothes here I got to put away. I think this next month I'm going to buy a Devi kit. I've been talking about getting a Devi for a while, but this next month is my birthday, and I think I'm going to buy a Devi kit. I think that's what I'm going to give myself for my birthday. Is a Devi kit. What do you guys think? You think that's a good gift? I think so. All right, the stuff I'm going to get rid of is going to go back in there. What is this? Now we're keeping this. This is cute, isn't it? Look, it's got a ruffly collar, or an eyelet collar. This one's already on a hanger. It's a hat. Chessie, hold the hat. So what are you guys all doing today? Just hanging out, relaxing. I hope you guys are having a relaxing weekend. Because we have chinchillas, whenever somebody asks me what I'm doing for like on a day that I'm relaxing, I just say I'm chinchilling. So are you guys chinchilling this weekend? We have two chinchillas, Jericho and McGregor. And they are such sweet little guys. Look at this dress. So summery and fun. See, that's my problem with trying to get rid of stuff, is I really have very little I want to get rid of. So I just end up keeping everything. And then this one is 3 to 6. The stuff I'm folding, I'm putting into separate piles. The stuff I'm hanging up, I'll put into piles after I get everything on hangers. Yeah, Jericho and McGregor. Chinchillas, I don't know if you guys know this, but chinchillas are the softest animals in the animal kingdom. They are like silk. They are super, super soft. In fact, here's a fun fact. I don't know if you guys know this, but humans have 1 hair per follicle on our heads, right? Chinchillas have 60 hairs per follicle. So that just goes to show you how much hair they have, and they are incredibly soft. This actually was my daughter's when she was about 6 months old. Isn't that cute? I've kept it all these years, and it still smells like her. So yeah, chinchillas have 60 hairs per follicle. That's a lot of hairs per follicle. And that's why they're so incredibly soft, because they have so much hair. In fact, a chinchilla has so much hair that if they got wet, like down to the skin level, they would actually mold. They would actually grow mold because they don't dry, because they don't have enough, there's not enough airflow at the skin level for them to dry. This is so pretty. I love this. It's one of my favorites. So that's why chinchillas can't get wet, because they literally will grow mold, because there's not enough airflow at the skin level to dry them off. So they end up just staying wet, and then they grow fungus. So that's why you can't get chinchillas wet. Okay, there's the hat. Where's the shirt to this? So chinchillas cannot get wet at all. Like, you can't get them wet. They take a sand bath. So like every week we put, oh, that was open. Every week we put this volcanic sand that we buy into a little like container, and we put it in their cage, and then they roll in it, and that's how they get clean, because they can't get wet. Even in the wild, chinchillas don't get wet. I have to find the skirt for this. It matches this bow, but it's not on there, so I have to find the skirt for that one. Yeah, so that's what happens. They grow mold, and then they can get really sick. So if you have chinchillas, you can't give them a water bath. In fact, I had one time my chinchillas were running around the house, and he jumped like over the edge of the bathtub into the bathtub, and there was some water in the bathtub. And he got wet, and I had to sprinkle him with antifungal powder for like 3 weeks or something like that, because he got wet, and they just can't get wet. I think I'm going to get rid of this one. It's cute, but I'm not going to use it a ton, I don't think. And I could sell this one. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't love, it's hard with the Reborns with the V-neck, you know, it's hard to put something like that on them, because the V-neck often shows off their, look at this, isn't this cute? Often shows off their cloth body, and I don't love that. So I probably won't use that very much. So just to make some space, I'll get rid of it. See, I'm trying to downsize. It's just hard for me. But anyway, as I was saying, when he jumped in the tub, he had to have antifungal powder put on him for like 3 weeks, because he got wet, and we didn't want him to grow mold. We tried to dry him off, but you can't really blow dry them, because they're really skittish animals. So if you get the blow dryer near them, they'll tend to run. So we had to just wait for him to air dry, and we towel dried him, and then we put antifungal powder on him for a bunch of weeks, and that he didn't grow any mold, so that was lucky. That was a lucky miss. And then we stopped letting him run around the whole house. We started closing off the bathroom after that. It's kind of a learning experience, you know, as with any animal. Chinchillas do this move called popcorning, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's this, like, they literally will bounce off things. Isn't this cute? These little pants. And then here's the top that goes with it. So they do this popcorning, and they literally will just jump from one wall to the other. And they just bounce back and forth. And they look like little popcorn kernels. I've never seen such an active animal. They just, and they barely land. They just bounce. They land for like a second to get some momentum off the wall they're on, and then they're gone again. It's really funny. But it's actually called popcorning, because that's what it looks like. It looks like they're little popcorn kernels, and they just pop everywhere. They're so funny. They're pretty tame. They don't like to be held much, but they'll let me scratch them. Like Jericho likes to have his belly scratched, and McGregor likes to have his ears scratched. So they're sweet. They're sweet little guys, but they're noisy at night because they're nocturnal, and all they do is popcorn all over the cage, and they make a lot of noise. So that's why they're in the living room and not in the bedroom, because they popcorn all night long. Here's a pair of pajamas for some of the, oh, this is the front, for some of the bigger girls. They're very active little guys. But I love them. They're sweet boys. Here's another one. That's one thing I don't have for the big girls is much pajamas. I don't have a lot of pajamas for the big girls, but I'm slowly collecting pajamas. What did I do with this other one that I had? There it is. I'm trying to keep all these together because I have to find all the shirts that go with them. These are super cute. Look at that. They got little butterflies and flowers on them. And then we have 4 frogs, and they are actually native to our area. They're not like exotic frogs or anything. We actually found 2 of them were injured when they were in the barbecue grill cover, and we didn't know they were in there, and we picked it up, and they had trouble hopping. So we we kept them to help them recover. And then the other 2 that we found, we just found, and they seemed a little lost, so we kept them. But they're native to our area. They're Cascade tree frogs. And it's amazing how much noise a little frog can make. They can ribbit so loud. And did you know that only male frogs ribbit? Yep, female frogs don't ribbit. It's a male thing. So we definitely have a couple males in there because they are loud, especially at night. Again, nocturnal. This is cute, and it has little little bloomers that goes with it. Here's another one of those. I have 2 of these outfits, one in a 0 to 3 and one in like a 6 to 9. I love these outfits. They're so cute. And then there's this one, the little unicorns on it. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, so we had a tortoise, but we just lost him, so that's sad. And then we used to have, up until this past year, we had 3 chameleons. We actually had 4 at one point, but we had 3 chameleons this year, and then all 3 of them passed away within a couple months of each other. And chameleons, you can't keep them in. This has a little pair of pants that goes with it. Isn't that cute? It's got little silver threads in it. You can't keep chameleons in the same cage. They have to be in separate cages. I'm going to give that one away. And, yeah, so because the males, well, even the females, they'll fight to the death. They're like really, the males especially are really aggressive. The females aren't aggressive with people, but they're aggressive with other chameleons. In the wild, they live solitary lives. So we had separate cages for all our chameleons. And then our chameleons passed away. So we've had a rough year with death because we lost our 3 chameleons, like the first one in November, the second one in January, and then Jasmine passed away in April. My mom died in January, and then we've now lost Winston. So it just seems like we're just getting pummeled, by death. This one's cute. I've had this outfit for a long time. I got this at Babies R Us years ago. There hasn't been a Babies R Us for a while. I love this outfit. This is so cute. I have a boy's outfit that matches it that I put the twins in, usually Kaya and Kieran. Aren't those cute? So anyway, yeah. So we've had a rough year with death. We haven't lost any of our dogs, thankfully. And then when my mom died, we had to find a home for her cat. Because she had the basement down here, and it's a finished basement. So she had like a family room and a little kitchenette, and she got 2 bedrooms, so down here. So so she was down here with her cat, but her cat didn't come upstairs. And then when she passed away, obviously we couldn't just bring the cat upstairs because of the 7 dogs. So we found a home for the cat. And I actually talked to the lady yesterday who has the cat, and she said she's doing wonderful with the cat. The cat has adjusted really well to her. They're getting along well. They sleep together. She's really, really happy with the cat. So that's nice that I was able to find a home for Izzy and make some older lady happy. Because, we didn't charge her anything, obviously. We just gave her the cat. And look at this little tutu. Sorry, it's all fluffy. It's got stars in the netting. Isn't that cute? Anyway, so yeah, so it was really nice to be able to give the cat a home and be able to help somebody who had recently lost their animal. So that was really nice. This one's really pretty. Look, I might sell that one though, just because I think I can get something for it, and I like it, but again, I don't love it. So yeah, I was really happy that we were able to get the cat a home and make it work for everybody. Because, you know, we were absolutely dead set against the idea of bringing the cat upstairs, because it would be different if the cat and the dogs had lived together for a while and they knew each other, but that wasn't the case. The cat lived down here and never came upstairs, and the dogs lived upstairs and never came down here except for Everly. So they were not used to the cat or the cat smell, and I don't know if any of them, well, I know my three little ones who I've had since they were puppies, they have had exposure to cats, but I don't know about all the foster dogs, because we just got them a year ago and they didn't have any, we didn't have any cats at that. Well, we had, I mean, we had the cat down here, but it didn't go upstairs. So we couldn't bring the cat upstairs. So we were a little bit concerned that, you know, what would happen if we just suddenly brought the cat upstairs. We didn't want the cat to get injured because she was still a kitten. So we were able to find a home for the cat, which was really nice. I was really concerned about that. And I know my mom really loved that cat, so I know she would have wanted the cat to get a really good home. So I was happy that one of her friends from the senior center was able to take the cat. And so she called yesterday and said they're doing great. They're getting along well, and the cat's adjusting well, and that's good. I mean, she's had the cat now. She got the cat in February. My mom died in January, and we found Izzy the home in February. Here's the panties for that one dress. This one here, little panties. So she's had her for quite a few months now, and I'm glad to hear that they're doing well. She built a catio, which I guess is like an outdoor cat area. I don't know. I've never had a catio, but I've heard of them, and this lady had built a catio for Izzy, so I thought that was pretty cool. Here's this shirt and the little skirt that goes with it. So cute. Any of you guys built a catio? Or I've heard of catifying, where people like build shelves on the walls for the cat to, like, you know, climb on or hop from or whatever. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but I actually saw some video on YouTube where this person had catified their house, where they put up all these little shelves and perches for the cat to climb the walls and sit up on top. It's kind of cool looking, actually. Any of you guys have a catio? Or have catified your house? That's kind of a cool idea, though, because cats like to jump and climb, you know? There's that one. Cats like to jump and climb, so it's kind of a cool idea to, like, build an obstacle course, so to speak, for your cat. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. This one I think has bloomers, so I'm going to put it on here, so when I find the bloomers, I can put them on there. There's this dress. What exotic pets do you guys have? I know a lady who has a kinkajou, and they're really interesting. I've heard that they get sort of mischievous and aggressive as they become teenagers, which is why I wouldn't want one. But she says hers is awesome. Have you guys ever seen the little kinkajous? They almost look like a monkey, but they're not a monkey. They're like, I think they're related to squirrels. But I have a friend on Facebook that has a kinkajou, and I get to see her kinkajou pictures, and he's the cutest little thing. He almost looks like a bush baby, you know? Very cute. Has a really long tail. Very, very cute little thing. Oh, this hanger's broken. I need to get a new hanger. This one's broken. So I thought I'd just do a video and chat with you guys while I was sitting here putting clothes away. It certainly makes the time go by faster. My pile is whittling down. I'm finally getting everything on hangers and in piles and ready to get put away. This one is so cute. I'll show you when I get the shirt and the dress on. I really like this one. This is a vintage. I found it, I think, at an antique shop. I found it on the way to the coast, like last year maybe. And I just fell in love with it. It's so cute. They don't make clothes like they used to. You know, baby clothes used to look like baby clothes, you know, and now baby clothes look like a mini version of adult clothes, you know. I don't know how many 2-year-old hookers I've seen running around. Here's this outfit. Isn't that cute? Look at that. That's so cute. That one I probably won't get rid of ever because that's one of my favorites. I really like that one. This one is cute because it has the cutest little yellow sandals that go with it. I can't wait for summer to hit and the nice weather to start again. I also have a silver cross, one of those antique prams out on the under the patio here. And I really need to get some time to clean it up and get it and find a place to display it because it is so pretty. It's a blue and white silver cross pram, one of the antique prams, and I just love it. It's so pretty. I was thinking I'd bring it in here and just put it like as a display piece for some of the babies. I thought that would be kind of cool. Look at this one. Isn't that cute? So anyway, I'm curious to see what kind of exotic pets you guys have. What do you think about, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I don't know. It went away. What do you guys think about, oh, I know what I was going to say. What do you guys think about artists that don't paint much but charge a lot of money? Like they don't put a lot of paint on the baby, like the Nancy Wheeler babies that are really pale. What do you guys think of artists that like do that don't really paint very much and then they charge a lot of money for their babies? I'm just curious what you guys think about that. Here's this one. Isn't that pretty? Another one of my vintage outfits. I have so many clothes. There's this little Ralph Lauren doohickey. This is Ralph Lauren, right? Yeah. I think that people charge way too much for the babies. I mean, the prices have started going up and up and up and up and up. And I understand that a lot of work goes into them because I paint too. But I usually charge $200 above the cost of the kit. So if it's a rare kit, it's obviously going to be more expensive. But I generally don't like to gouge people, you know? And I think that it really has come to the point that people are just charging way too much. But that's just my opinion. And I would never say that to someone because they can charge whatever they want. But I think that the cost of reborns has like skyrocketed in like the last couple of years. When I first got into it in 2018, the average reborn, and I mean like the average, you know, a good looking reborn, maybe not super high end, but not low end either, was like $350, you know, and now you're looking at paying, you know, $1,200, $1,500 in just, you know, 5 or 6 years from, you know, the same kits or this, you know, the same quality. Now I understand obviously the higher cost if you are like an expert rooter, or you know the kit that you painted was like really really rare and you had to pay a lot of money for it. I totally get that. And I would never price shame anybody. I'm just asking what you guys think about it, about the prices that have been going on lately. And you know, do you think it's too much? Do you think it's just right? You know, I'm just curious. But I think the cost of reborns has gotten really really high in some cases, not in all cases. There are still quite a few artists out there that try to keep the, you know, the price reasonable. But there are some that just don't. You know, I mean, the reality is, yes, it takes time and it takes materials, but the reality is, you know, $1,500, $1,800. That's an insane price for a reborn. There's no justification for that, either in materials or labor. I'm sorry. And then, of course, people like me, when you're selling a baby, you have to sell it for that high because you have to at least make back some of your money, you know? And so the resale is even higher because the initial sale is high, you know? I just think that people are, you know, with the economy being so bad, I think that people are like just really price gouging in every area of society. And that includes reborns, you know? It's just crazy. It really is. It's just insane how much people charge for things. This one is cute. I'll show you guys this one and then I'll let you go. But I think the prices of everything has just gotten ridiculous. Not just reborns. I mean, just everything in general. And that's probably why the prices for reborns are so high, is because the price to live is so high. Isn't that cute? Yeah, the cost of living right now is so ridiculously off the hook. It's not even funny. And that's just the cost of living. I mean, it costs less now to get a mortgage than it does to rent. It used to be the more cost effective option to rent, but prices on rentals have gone so high that it really is cheaper to have a mortgage, you know? I mean, we pay less for our mortgage than most people pay for rent. I think we pay like 21. It's just crazy how much rental cost has gone up. I mean, we're talking like hundreds and thousands of dollars. I mean, a studio apartment without a separate bedroom, just an efficiency, is now like $1,200, $1,300. And an apartment that's like a one bedroom is, oh my goodness, it's off the charts. It's crazy. I can't believe how bad the prices have gotten, you know. And it really has gotten so bad that most people can't afford to live, you know, that people are really struggling. It's just crazy how much it's, you know, rent especially has just gone up and up and up, and every year it gets worse, you know, it goes more. It's like, you know, I wish the government would, you know, hold prices at a certain level for like 5 years to allow people to just catch up and breathe. I mean, most people can't even afford to function. And this goes in the boys' nursery. Oh, I didn't mean to throw that over there, but I'll get it later. So yeah, it's just crazy. I really feel for people who are struggling with rent because it is so high. It's like people can't afford to pay rent, you know? It's crazy. And, you know, the landlords, they don't care. You know, they don't care about whether people can afford to live or not live, you know? I just had those pants. What did I do with them? I had both pieces a second ago. I swear I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. Here's the shirt. Where's the pants? So yeah, it's just gotten so insane with everybody's. I literally just had these pants and now I've lost them. All right, well, I'll put this back aside again. I'll do this one. Yeah, it's just gotten, the price of everything is insane. You can go to the grocery store and buy 5 things and spend $110. I mean, it's just insane. The other thing I've noticed by watching a lot of YouTube videos is that the U-Scan at Walmart really showed the dishonesty of people. Even people who don't commit crimes started skip scanning. You know, it's like the self-checkout really brought out who's honest and who's not. And there are very few people that don't skip scan at Walmart. When you watch those videos, I mean, these are like upstanding citizens, you know, like people who have no criminal record, and suddenly they get the idea to skip scan. And it's just the same as stealing, but I don't know if maybe they don't see it that way, but it's just insane how much that, you know, using the self-checkout has kind of highlighted how dishonest people are in today's world. But I mean, really, you know, I'm not saying stealing is right, but I mean, really, like, can you blame them? I mean, people can't afford to live right now. You know, people can't afford rent. People can't afford food. People who were doing fine for years are suddenly struggling. You know, it's crazy. You need like a Ivy League job just to be able to survive. It's just insane. Somebody needs to do something about the prices, you know, and make it so that people can survive again, because it's just off the hook. It is really crazy. So I was telling you guys the other day about the rare editions outfits that I like. So here's like an example of a rare editions outfit. This one is the one I was looking for. I think this one. So this is the top, and it's got all different fabrics on it, and then this is the bottom. I love these rare editions kind of funky outfits. I think they're so cute. So anyway, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, you know, just the ability to survive nowadays is just insane. I think it's been like over, I don't know how much percentage, but it's a lot. The inflation is higher than it's ever been. And I really don't understand that, because if people would stop jacking up the prices, then things everybody would stop jacking up the prices and people would be able to survive. But, you know, everybody's all about, you know, me. And I mean, I understand that in a way that, you know, you need to take care of your family, but it's the price gouging to begin with that has put society where it is right now, which is in a position that nobody can survive. You know, it's crazy. The price gouging starts and then the rent goes up, and you know, the inflation rate is much higher than the increase of pay, especially for people on social security. You know, like the inflation might be 9 or 10%, and you know, social security only gets a 2% raise. And if, you know, one year maybe that's not such a big deal, but if that happens over and over and over again, you know, you end up in a situation where people can't afford to live. Here's another one of those rare editions outfits. So there's the top, and then this is the bottom that goes with this one. Isn't that cute? Look at those little ruffles. I don't know. I know we generally aren't supposed to talk about serious stuff on here, but I just thought, you know, I was on my mind and I just thought I'd bring it up and see what you guys thought. You know, I don't know what the solution is to the economy or to price gouging, but I do know that unless retailers and sellers start backing off of prices, nothing's going to happen with rent, you know. And so because of that, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse, and more people are ending up homeless. You know, it's just sad. Here's another one of those rare editions outfits. So cute. Here's another one. I got to find the pants. I have the pants for this one right here. And then here's the pants for it. And then my favorite one, I have this one. I have to find the pants for it. But isn't this cute? Look at that. I love the purple flowers. And the pants they look like this. And the purple flowers. It's so cute. Still trying to figure out where those pants went. I literally just had them a second ago. And then they disappeared. I swear I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. You guys see this pile next to me? That's all the stuff I've hung up. Crazy, 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 crazy. But at least I'm getting it taken care of today, you know, and then I'll be ready to start fresh with everything hung up and everything organized again. I'm going to do another nursery tour video, just show off the babies in the nursery now that I got it all cleaned up. I really got to find the bottoms to this. All right, ladybugs. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you. I hope you have a great weekend. Try to chinchill. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.